Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Today, I will be presenting on my capstone topic, which is the effects of unemployment on crime. This is for a Capstone Fall 2016 Professor Wee Wee Lynn's class, MPA program at Rutgers University, presented by yours truly, Tamika Jackson. This paper seeks to present research that will allow for additional findings to be gathered on violent crime as a result of further delving into the effects of unemployment on violent crime in the United States in 2015. Does an increase in the number of unemployed citizens in the United States cause an increase in crime? Well, many scholars have argued that unemployment is the impetus behind a combination of property and violent activity, or simply property crime. Researchers and scholars just alike have many theories as it pertains to the effects of unemployment on crime. Two well explored popular theories are the sociologist and economic theory. Sociologists traditionally propose that unemployment creates a small supply of victims to choose from when unemployment rate decreases, which essentially decreases crime. The economic theory of crime views unemployment from a slightly different viewpoint than that of sociologists, in that people make rational choices to engage in criminal activity versus legitimate opportunity. So as crime rates go up, so does crime rates. Many scholars and economists refer to the Great Depression of the 1930s when referring to the history of unemployment and crime. During the Great Depression of the 1930s, our economy hit a substantial economic downfall, unparalleled to anything this country has ever experienced, and saw a rapid increase in crime. The Great Recession of 2007, which lasted for approximately 2 years, beginning in December 2007 and ending in June of 2009, took a toll on crime and the economy. This recession was yet another example of a time period in the United States where we experienced an economic crisis, which led to an increase in unemployment, a decrease in gross domestic product, also known as GDP, and an increase in crime rate. Like that of the theoretical perspective of economists, this paper follows the general notion that when unemployment is heightened, crime will also become heightened. For years, there's been a lack of consistency and, in some cases, ambiguity in results and findings of previous studies conducted on violent crime. This study will provide the most current literary contributions with the use of data from 2015 and a cross-sectional analysis 5 years post what is known as the Great Recession in this field on the effects of unemployment and violent crimes in the United States. The literature review was conducted on 5 articles that was found to be most applicable and or relevant to this capstone paper. First, Violent Crime in the United States of America, a time series analysis between 1960 through 2000 by author George Saradakis of the University of Leicester. Saradakis' study indicates that empirical studies suggest that violent crime has been associated to factors such as income inequality and poverty with little to no connection to the economic theory. Also, the study indicates a short-run behavior on violent crime. The unemployment and crime, is there a connection by author Karen Eadmark of Uppsala University, suggests that unemployment has a positive effect on certain property crimes, and violent crimes were not found to be significantly related to unemployment in her study. Third, we have Identifying the Effects of Unemployment on Crime by author Stefan Raphael of University of California, San Diego, and Rudolf Winter-Ebner of the University of Linz, Austria, Department of Economics. Their study produced results that concluded that unemployment had a substantial positive and quantitative impact on property and violent crimes during this time period of 1970 to 1993. Fourth, we have unemployment and crime rates in the post-World War II United States, a theoretical and empirical analysis by authors David Cantor of Bureau of Social Science Research and Kenneth C. Land of the University of Texas at Austin. Their study indicated positive and negative effects associated with unemployment and crime, unlike most of the findings of their predecessors in this field. Last, we have crime rates and local labor market opportunities in the United States. 1979 through 1997 analysis by authors Eric D. Gold of Hebrew University, Bruce A. Weinberg of Ohio State University, and David B. Muster of the University of Georgia. These authors concluded that unemployment rates for both violent and property crimes are responsible for smaller changes in crime rates, whereas wages show a more long-term correlation with crime. In this paper, two research questions are proposed. One, did the increase or decrease of the unemployment rate in 2015 increase or decrease the violent crime rate in each of the 50 states in the United States? Two, what effect, if any, does unemployment have on violent crime? Hypothesis tested. An increase in the unemployment rate leads to an increase in violent crimes in the United States. The null hypothesis, an increase in the unemployment rate, does not lead to an increase in violent crime. The research method that will be applied is that of the quantitative methodology. Quantitative research involves the collection of data so that information can be quantified, and subjected to statistical treatment in order to support or refute alternate knowledge claims. This paper uses cross-sectional data for the year of 2015. Cross-sectional data contains measurements taken at a single point in time. The one dependent variable in the study is violent crime rate. The dependent variable is depicted as the Y variable and is the effect of the study. The single independent variable in the study is unemployment rate. The independent variable is depicted as the X variable and is the cause and is the cause of the study. Crime rate has been calculated per 100,000 inhabitants. The data for all 50 states in the United States collected and utilized for this analysis has been retrieved from the Federal Bureau of Investigations and Bureau of Labor and Statistics. This study uses correlation analysis to explore the relationship between the independent and dependent variables. This relationship can be either linear or nonlinear, and the relationship between variables will be positive or negative. Correlation analysis allows the reader of this study to understand how much a variable changes when another variable changes. If the relationship is indeed positive, the increase in one variable will lead to an increase in another variable. If the relationship is negative, on the other hand, the decrease in one variable will lead to an increase in the other variable. The findings of the correlation indicates that higher employment rates are positively correlated to higher violent crime rates. There is a positive correlation because the correlation coefficient is positive, which is depicted as R equals 0.54 in this study. This is a large correlation compared to a scale of 0.10 being small and 0.30 being moderate. This means that as unemployment increases, crime rates will also increase, which was the hypothesis. A simple linear regression scatter plot was created to ascertain the linear direction of the relationship between the X and Y variables. The simple linear regression scatter plot indicated that the sample slope was positive and suggests that there is a positive linear relationship between unemployment and crime. The summary output chart does indicate if testing at 95% confidence, p-value should be less than 0.05% and less than 0.01% at a 99% confidence level. The summary output chart by way of p-value indicates that the relationship between the X and Y variables is not a significant one. This could also be, a cause could also be that there weren't any control variables. This research has been influenced by a theoretical framework of the economy theory and the works of authors Raphael and Winter Ebner, identifying the effect of unemployment on crime, as the hypothesis and theories were symbolic and results comparable to their study. Scholars such as Karen Edmark, David Cantor, Kenneth C. Land, and Matthew Mallet, just to name a few, have all found a correlation between property crime and unemployment, or effects of unemployment on property crime, while many findings for the violent crimes have been slim to non-existent or altogether ambiguous. This cross-sectional study differs from previous studies because the study contains the most current data for the year 2015 and has an isolated focus on violent crime versus other studies, which includes the study of property crime. The one thing that this study didn't explore was control variables such as alcoholism or poverty rates. Adding control variables may offer a more maximized explanation as it pertains to why violent crime is affects is why violent crime is caused as an effect of the unemployment rate. Criminologists, economists, and sociologists have studied the impact and correlation between unemployment and property crime and violent crime. Yet these findings, as it pertains to the relationship of unemployment and violent crime, seems to be consistently questionable. There is a common belief shared amongst many Americans that when the economy is down or has plummeted, it will lead to an increase in crime rates. In fact, many scholars argue that unemployment is the impetus behind criminal activity. This study shows that there is a relationship between unemployment and violent crime. Studies such as this is important because it not only provides data and ammunition for great scholarly debate and use, but it also helps influence the direction politicians should take when creating laws as it pertains to the topic of unemployment and crime. Thank you.